Hello there, you're tuned into 7 Edition with me, Azlina Najri. Now let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Tan Sri Irwan Seriga to be charged for CBT. Government to abolish outsourcing program for foreign workers. And policeman found dead with gunshot wound to the head. Now we begin the bulletin with this story. Former Treasury Secretary General Tan Sri Dr. Muhammad Irwan Seriga Abdullah has been detained after giving his statement to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC. He will be charged tomorrow together with former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak. Tan Sri Irwan Seriga arrived at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya at 3:25 p.m. for questioning over dealings between One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB, and Abu Dhabi's Sovereign Wealth Fund, International Petroleum Investment Company, IPIC. He was later detained and will be brought to the court tomorrow. Earlier, Datuk Sri Najib went to the MACC headquarters at around 2 p.m. for another round of questioning in connection with the 1MDB IPIC debt payment scandal. He was seen leaving the building at 5 p.m. Both Datuk Sri Najib and Tan Sri Muhammad Irwan will be present at the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow to face the charges. IPIC and 1MDB previously signed a settlement agreement which entails 1MDB to repay $1.2 billion owed to 1MDB, while removing IPIC as a co-guarantor for two 1MDB bonds totaling $3.5 billion. The two funds were in dispute with regards to a missing sum of $3.5 billion meant to be transferred from 1MDB to IPIC in relation to the bonds. Meanwhile, MACC said in the same statement that former spy agency chief Datuk Hassanah Abdul Hamid will also be charged tomorrow morning for criminal breach of trust (CBT) involving the government's money. However, no details were given on the charges or cases involved. Earlier today, Datuk Sri Najib was also in Parliament to provide his statement to the Public Accounts Committee, PAC, on the missing input tax credit refund under the Goods and Services Tax, GST, amounting to 19.4 billion ringgit. He arrived at 11 a.m. today and met with the members of the PAC for about an hour. PAC Chairman Datuk Sri Dr. Ronald Kiandi declined to reveal what transpired during the proceeding, but said Datuk Sri Najib, who was also former Finance Minister, was cooperative during the questioning.
Dan kita akan rujuk kembali sama ada keperluan dan kita boleh buat panggilan semula. Dan kita telah buat panggilan semula terhadap KSB Custom dan juga mantan KSB. Jadi kita ikut keperluan, jika ada keperluan kita mungkin boleh memanggil semula.
Datuk Sri Najib, however, evaded the media following the meeting. The PAC expects a full report on the proceeding to be completed by the end of the current Dewan Rakyat sitting. Now, the police have welcomed the offer by former Defence Minister Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein to bring back the fugitive financier Loh Teck Jo or Jo Loh, who was reported to be in China to facilitate investigations by authorities into the 1MDB scandal. The top cop, however, said that there was no need to call in Datuk Sri Hishamuddin on the matter.
Saya pun tak tahu, tak dapat nak komen apa motif Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Hisham tersebut. Mungkin ini berdasarkan kontak yang dia sedia ada. Kalau dia boleh bantu, kita mengalu-alukan.
Tan Sri Fuzi further explained that the police are continuously trying to track down Jo Loh and his father, Tan Sri Loh Hok Peng, including maintaining ongoing communication with the International Criminal Police Organisation, Interpol. It was reported that Datuk Sri Hishamuddin on Monday offered to help locate Jo Loh using his personal connections with Chinese leaders. Moving on, in Perak, a police lance corporal was found dead with a gunshot wound to the head in Ipoh today. State Deputy Police Chief Datuk Razaruddin Hussein said the body of the 29-year-old policeman was found behind the Pekanbaru police quarters about 6:15 a.m. The pistol, believed to belong to the policeman, was found with the body. Also discovered at the scene was a bullet shell. The actual cause of death is still being investigated. The victim, who was single, was a member of the Anti-Vice Gambling and Secret Societies Division, or D7, and had only worked at the Pekanbaru police station for 2 days. The body was brought to Raja Permaisuri Bainon Hospital for post-mortem. Over in Terengganu, a former business development manager of a state government's subsidiary was charged at the Kuala Terengganu Sessions Court today to 138 counts of corruption involving more than 2.7 million ringgit. 59-year-old Isham Shah Chandran Abdullah, however, pleaded not guilty to all the charges read before Judge Rofiah Muhammad. The accused was charged under the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) Act with 104 counts of making false claims involving 2.2 million ringgit for emergency safety management courses. He was also charged with another 34 counts of accepting bribes totaling 500,000 ringgit. The offences were allegedly committed in Cukai, Kemaman and Batu Gajah, Perak between 2014 and 2017. The court ordered bail at 70,000 ringgit and set November 28th for mention. The government is set to abolish the outsourcing program for foreign workers soon. Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the role, currently under his ministry's preview, will be taken over completely by the Human Resources Ministry under a private employment agency, APS. Tan Sri Muhyiddin said the decision to abolish the outsourcing program would allow for a smoother process in the employment of foreign workers, as well as prevent mistreatment and human trafficking activities.
Dia ada akta khas supaya dia lebih terurus dan diikut peraturan dan undang-undang yang sedia ada. Dan untuk itu sekarang ini ada lebih kurang 100 lebih buah syarikat outsourcing yang beroperasi dengan sejumlah pekerja-pekerja di bawah mereka lebih daripada 26,000.
A multi-tier levy system for foreign workers is also expected to be implemented by next year. The government is also mulling to increase the bond payment imposed on each foreign worker from between 300 and 1,500 ringgit presently. The process is already in its final stages, pending discussion with all stakeholders. Meanwhile, a bill to amend and abolish several laws relating to national security will be tabled in Parliament next month. Speaking to reporters at the Parliament lobby today, Tan Sri Muhyiddin said his ministry will get the Cabinet's approval on the proposed amendments and abolition of the laws before getting the Attorney General's Chambers, AGC, to prepare the bill. According to Tan Sri Muhyiddin, there are 6 laws and 1 punishment being reviewed by a special committee which was set up last July to look into existing laws on national security. He added the committee had also submitted a report to a technical committee at the AGC to be fine-tuned.
Antara isu yang dibincangkanlah penahanan tanpa bicara. Ini ada disebut tadi di bawah POKA dan POTA, tempoh tahanan riman yang panjang. 60 hari di bawah POKA, POTA dan 28 hari di bawah SOSMA. Ketiadaan ruang untuk mahkamah mengadakan semakan kehakiman dari segi merit ke atas penahanan di bawah POKA dan POTA, kuasa pihak penguat kuasa yang terlalu luas, sekatan terhadap kebebasan bersuara dan berhimpun dan penyalahgunaan undang-undang keselamatan untuk tujuan politik.
He added the Royal Malaysia Police, PDRM, had also been instructed to draw up a new standard operating procedure, SOP, to deal with cases under the 6 laws, pending approval from Parliament and consent from the Yang di-Pertuan Agong on their amendments or repeal. The Kelantan state government received 22.5 million ringgit from the federal government this year. According to Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng, the advance loan was used to pay the salaries of the state government staff. At the press conference at the Parliament building today, Lim stated that the loan, applied last June, was also used to pay for operational and management costs. He also expressed regret over claims by several Kelantan past leaders that he was anti-Malay and anti-Islam.
So yang dia pohon 24.5 juta, Kementerian Kewangan telah luluskan 22.5 juta supaya kaki tangan kerajaan negeri Kelantan dapat dibayar gajinya. Saya ingin tekankan bahawa pengurusan ekonomi dan pentadbiran kewangan perlu dijalankan berdasarkan fakta dan angka. Dan saya telah berikan angka dan pada masa yang sama saya telah tunjukkan fakta. Bukannya sentimen dan fitnah jahat.
In a statement yesterday, Lim said that Kelantan had received 398 million ringgit in grants last year, including a revenue deficit grant of 59.9 million ringgit, as the state government's revenue was insufficient to cover its own expenditure, including wages and emolument of its civil servants. As of December 2017, the Kelantan government has yet to repay its advance loans, amounting to 388 million ringgit, making the state the biggest debtor of advance loans in the country. Now on to the Day One Rakyat sitting. Members of Parliament were told today it was unfair to fully blame the present Pakatan Harapan PH government's move of removing 429,945 National Higher Education Fund PTPTN borrowers from the immigration blacklist for the drop in the loan repayments from January until September. This as the previous Barisan Nasional BN administration's move in extending the grace period for the PTPTN loan repayment is also partly to blame for lower repayments this year. Deputy Education Minister Tioni Ching admitted that the removal of PTPTN borrowers' names from the travel blacklist has something to do with the drop in repayments. However, the decrease was also due to the previous government's move of extending the grace period for the loan repayments from 6 months to 12 months, which came into force in November last year.
Selepas tindakan senarai hitam dihapuskan mulai Jun hingga September 2018, jumlah kutipan bayaran balik PTPTN yang telah diterima adalah sebanyak 817.56 juta berbanding dengan 1,324.43 juta bagi tempoh yang sama pada tahun 2017. Bagi memastikan bayaran balik yang berterusan diterima daripada peminjam, tindakan penyenaraian dan menggemaskinian rekod bayaran peminjam dalam rekod kredit bank negara iaitu Central Credit Reference Information System (CCRIS) dengan izin masih dilaksanakan. Selain daripada itu, tindakan perundangan juga boleh diambil ke atas peminjam yang engkau membuat bayaran.
Teo said this in response to Rumbau MP Khairi Jamaluddin's claim that the decrease in repayment was due to the removal of PTPTN borrowers from the immigration blacklist. On the new mechanism to help low-earning graduates repay their PTPTN loans, especially for those earning below 4,000 ringgit, Teo stated that a holistic study on the new repayment policy was completed on September 26. It is now awaiting feedback from several government agencies, following which it would be tabled in Cabinet before any decision is made on the matter. Meanwhile, the government has set a new target ratio of 1 doctor for every 450 patients by 2020. To date, the ratio in Malaysia is 1 doctor to 600 patients. Deputy Health Minister Dr. Lee Boon Chai said this to lawmakers, adding that the government is still studying the best approach to achieve the set target based on the 11th Malaysia Plan mid-term review.
Walaupun kita belum sampai tahap tersebut, tetapi kita melakukan melalui graduate yang ada di IPTA, IPTS, di mana kita lebih kurang setiap tahun ada 5,000 hingga 6,000 graduate daripada IPTA, IPTS dan juga daripada luar negara.
However, he added that the current hurdle faced by the ministry is the limited number of placements for medical graduates to do their housemanship training in the country. Due to this, the number of medical graduates had to be limited for the time being. When we come back, another racist outburst caught on camera. This and more, stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, Prime Minister Tonton Mahathir has arrived in Bangkok, Thailand for a 2-day official working visit. The private jet carrying the Premier and his wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali, landed at the Royal Thai Air Force Base Terminal early Tuesday. Tun Dr. Mahathir's arrival, along with other Malaysian delegates, was received by Thai Deputy Prime Minister Somkit Jatusripitak. The Premier is being accompanied by Foreign Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah, International Trade and Industry Minister Ignatius Daryl Leaking, as well as Southern Thailand Peace Talks Facilitator Tan Sri Abdul Rahim Noor. Tun Dr. Mahathir was then escorted to the Shangri-La Hotel, where he attended 2 interview sessions with local television stations, Thai TV3, as well as Asahi Shimbun. Now, later in the day, the Premier, together with the Malaysian delegation, then proceeded to the Government House of Thailand for the official welcoming ceremony, as well as for a meeting with Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha at 5 p.m. Upon arrival, Tun Dr. Mahathir took the opportunity to inspect the Thailand Security Forces parade. After a meet and greet session, the Malaysian Premier and his counterpart, as well as their 2 delegations, commenced with a closed-door meeting followed by a bilateral meeting. The discussions focused on issues of concerns including economic cooperation, cooperation in the tourism sector, as well as border security. Now updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. RinggitPlus.com partners with renowned 15-year-running TV3 show Ringgit Sense to educate more Malaysians on personal finance management. The first episode of the new season of Ringgit Sense Plus is slated to air every Monday starting November 26.
I mean, look, Ringgit Sense it's an iconic show. It's the longest show in Malaysia for personal finance to date, right? And we're very excited because we feel that we can bring something to the brand, to that iconic show. And what can we bring? We feel we can bring, fresh content, right, that is relevant to consumers today, as well as our expertise in not just personal finance, but also expertise in engaging a digital audience.
Orang-orang biasa ni pun untuk pengurusan kewangan seharian orang. Yeah. So kekuatannya adalah dari segi televisyen, TV3, semua orang tahu adalah stesen televisyen nombor 1 di negara, merangkumi 20% lebih audience share, right? Kemudian Ringgit Plus pula adalah satu fintech, platform fintech yang menyeluruh untuk menyebarkan ilmu pengurusan kewangan ini.
Ringgit Sense Plus will debut an entirely new logo and an overall aesthetic of the show, presenting money management information and recommendations to young adults and families as its core.
All right.
Now, in some lighter news, kain sampin is usually worn with the baju Melayu, the traditional attire for Malay men. However, many of us are unaware of the meaning behind the different ways to wear the sarong-like clothing attire. Farah Nabila Wazir has the report.
Samping is the cloth worn on the belly area, covering the stomach up to the knees or slightly below the knees or the mid-area of the body. And the man would normally wear them together with baju Melayu to celebrate a festive occasion, attending a wedding or going to a formal event.
Okay, kalau ikut buat masa sekarang ni kita ada dalam belah-belah kata samping. Kita juga ada pajang menyisin, ombak mengalun dan pelbagai lagi lah.
Recently, I had the opportunity to learn some of the ways to wear samping along with 160 students from all over the country at the National Textile Museum.
Kita nak perkenalkan siapa kita, siapa Melayu, apa itu Melayu jati.
One of these styles is Ikatan Pahlawan, which expresses the charm of the Malay warriors in the 15th century. Besides looking sharp, this style aims to facilitate the movement of the wearer. Meanwhile, Ikatan Lingkup is the most common samping style among men due to its simplicity. It is best to be worn during the festive season or formal ceremony.
Selalunya jas macam kalau lelaki jas buka dan lipat-lipat kita gulung. Ni kalau macam waktu raya lelaki pakai samping dan buat macam ni mungkin nampak lebih bergaya.
Ikatan kembung has always been the go-to style for grooms in Malay weddings. The word kembung or inflate is derived from the inflated effect of the cloth when wearing it.
Okay, so wearing a sampin has its own philosophy. For example, if I am a single man, I have to wear my sampin 2 fingers above my knee, like this. But if I am a married man, I have to wear my sampin 2 fingers below my knee.
The samping tying traditions still remain until today, despite the evolution of the baju Melayu. It is important to preserve them as they are part of the Malay identity and culture.
Supaya mereka mengekalkan identiti kita, sebab Melayu hanya di Nusantara saja. Kita tidak ada di mana-mana. Benda ini diteruskan. Walaupun kecil, tapi besar impaknya.
Farah Nabila Wazir for 7 Edition.
Now, more after the break. US bars 21 Saudi officials over Khashoggi's death. Details coming right up.